Okay, and we're back for another video. This is me before I leave my home location for another interior cleaning job. As you can imagine, I have everything set up. So you always want to make sure you have everything set before you go out. So like your generator filled, you want to preheat the extractor or the steamer if you have one. Make sure all your bottles are filled up. Make sure everything is sorted out. Because seriously, you don't want to get to the job site just to start prepping for what you could have done way in advance. So before you head out, before you get to the job site, try to get as much prep work as you're done as you can. That way when you get to the job site, you just get to work. By the way, guys, interior cleaning services is just one of the 9 services you can offer in your detailing business. So if you want to start your business and you want to know the details, what's included, how to do it, the value, check the guide down below in the description box to help you with your detailing business. Alright, so I'm on location. This is yet another apartment location that I'm at. So sometimes, depending on how the apartment complex is, they either like everyone has their own reserved parking spot, or it's a rather small apartment complex and it's really full, so there's not many parking spots available. And so in this instance, this is a rather large complex. I mean, you can't really tell just from me shooting it, but it's a pretty big system area complex that you can drive around. So I asked the customer, you know, since I'm not gonna have an electrical outlet nearby, I'm gonna use a generator. So I said, hey, look, you know, we were like in the middle of everything, so there's a lot of apartments, a lot of cars nearby. I didn't have much room. I wouldn't have much room. The generator isn't loud by any means necessary. But it's still making noise. People are still sleeping, so I asked, hey, look, can we move it to an area like away from everyone? So I know in the entrance here, there was a lot more openings. There isn't nearly as many apartments next to me, so that's a more ideal situation. That way I'm not making noise, I have more room, and it's just it's a win-win situation for everyone. So that's how I was able to handle that. Sometimes you're not gonna have that luxury in an apartment. You're just gonna have to be where you are, and that's it. It's gonna be a crammed up space. It's gonna, you know, you're not gonna have much room. People are gonna be walking by. It is what it is. Here I'm not gonna have not many people walking by. I'm not gonna be disturbing many people. The generator isn't loud, so those apartments that are near me, I'm not gonna bother too much, because the noise doesn't travel that much because it's not that loud. You get working on this little Nissan I'm gonna be working on his little Nissan Sentra. It's actually not bad of an interior. He picked it up at an auction in October, so he just wants the interior cleaned up a little bit. So I'll take care of that for him. All right, so this is the interior. I forget what year he said, but it's just, you know, it's an auction car. He hasn't cleaned it since then. He knows it can get a lot better than what it currently is. You know, in all honesty, I thought it was gonna be much worse than this condition. I honestly thought, let me just amp this up for you guys. I thought it was gonna be in a much worse condition than it is right now. Just because it's an auction, and I forget what year he said. I think it was like a 04, I think he said. I was expecting this to be a bit worse, but overall it's actually not that bad. Of course, it could still use a very thorough cleaning and get it, you know, looking way better than it is right now. So I'll take care of him, no biggie. I charge $180 for this one. I always charge between $180 to $240. This one I charge them $180 because it's not gonna take me that long. And a quick point on pricing is that when I first started, I would price my interiors for between like $120 to $150. Then I raised them up to $150 to $180, and now they're from $180 to $240. You know, when I first started, they take me, you know, 5, 6, 7 hours. Then, you know, the hours dropped a little bit, and now I'm pretty efficient and I can finish a car between 4 to 6 hours, kind of almost regardless of the condition it's in. I mean, just a while back I uploaded a video on a Toyota RAV4 that I did. It was hammered and it took me six-ish hours, and that's because of the recording. But again, as far as how, you know, the condition it is in, I pretty have a thorough system to where I can finish it between 4 to 6 hours. So I don't really ask for pictures or to see the condition, because within those 4 to 6-ish hours, I can complete almost any vehicle. If it's like an SUV or something and they're saying they have pet hair and it's, you know, it's been a few years since they've cleaned it, they have kids, by just, you know, obvious reasons, I know that's going to take a little longer just because due to the size. So those are a bit out of the norm. But other than that, sedans, coupes, small SUVs, trucks, those I can get them done within 4 to 6 hours, almost regardless of the condition. I can fit it within that time frame most of the time. But yeah, your prices are always gonna, and at some point you can't, like, personally, how I look at it is you can't always just be raising your prices, right? So I went from 120 to 150, 150, 180, 180 to 240, and yes, I can keep on going and then eventually go from 200 to 260 and then 240 to 280 and then 280 to, and those will be the standard pricings. But at some point you have to change up your strategy, right? You can't just always go for, in my opinion, you can't just keep on going, and it depends on how your business model is going to be, but you can't always go for, like, I'm going to be the most expensive, I'm going to keep on raising my hourly rate to make more money, right? Because there's multiple ways for you to increase revenue, to increase your profits, right? You could, one, raise your hourly rate, right? If you're going from, if you average out 20 to 25, you can raise it to 25 to 35, then 35 to 45, or you can cut down your production time and still charge that same amount. So if you're charging $100 for 6 hours of work, then charge $100 but finish it in 5 hours and 4 hours. Next is just increase the demand. So instead of having to raise your prices, just take on more work. Or you can hire more people, work less, take on more work, and still be much more profitable and have more time for yourself because you're not actually doing the work. There's a lot of ways you can go about making more money. So like, am I gonna eventually raise my prices again? Yes, but that's not gonna be the only strategy I have to make more money. It's going to be in demand and raising more volume, getting more leads and sales, and it's going to be hiring people to be able to service more vehicles per day, per week, to generate more revenue. Now, because it is about 9:15 a.m., I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the areas that I don't use a steamer on. So this steering wheel, and probably just this, actually. Everything else I can use a steamer, or I'll see, but just because it's still kind of early-ish, so I still want to be mindful of the people around me, so I don't want to just crank the generator. Again, it's not loud by any means. It's a Honda 2000i, but just just to try to be courteous to everyone else, I'm just gonna I want to use it when I need it. So I'm just gonna start on the steering wheel because I'm just gonna use the brushes, and maybe I'll clean up the entire center console dashboard here with just the brushes with no steamer, just to give it a bit more time before I crank up the generator and the steamer. Alright, so this is the only time lapse that I had for that detail. I just didn't feel like recording any other parts because it was black and just it wasn't a good fit to record everything that I was doing. But one thing I want to talk about is doing the actual work, because on the videos it looks fun, it looks entertaining to just be there. But I mean, think about it. Average detail takes me 4 to 6 hours, and when you think about it, like, it's just one person cleaning part by part by part. So the actual technical side of detailing, whether it be interior detailing, whether it be exterior cleaning or detailing, engine cleaning, headlight restoration, paint correction, wash and wax, whatever the case may be, the technical part of it isn't that difficult. I mean, I could take someone that knows nothing about detailing, they have common sense, they're used to labor work, and within a couple of days you can get them to a pretty high standard of detailing, given that they're a hard worker and that they have a common sense and that they're just not completely an airhead. But the real challenge is the consistency and the patience for it. So can you start cleaning a floor mat? Can you clean a seat? Can you clean a steering wheel? Yes, there's no problem with that at all. Now try to do that day in and day out, or do one interior for under 6 hours and keep that level of quality as high as it can be within a certain time frame and budget. That's where the challenge comes in when you're doing this as a business, because you have these restrictions and limitations. If you're working on your personal car, you can do half the car and then you're done. With this, you have to keep up the quality and the consistency and the patience throughout those 6 hours, 4 hours, 7 hours that you're doing it, to satisfy the customer. So when people tell me, like, hey, I want to start a detailing business, I like detailing this and this and that, one thing you have to keep in mind, you have to be mindful of, hey, look, can you keep up the quality? Can you not only do you just like it and you can you like to see something go from ugly to clean, but can you do this consistently over and over? Can you deal with the physical labor of it over and over? That's the real challenge when it comes to detailing, not just interior detailing, but just detailing in general. Okay, so I just finished up the door panels. I'm gonna do everything a bit different just because I'm tired. I don't feel like moving too fast and following the same system, so I'm gonna be changing it up a bit here. I'm not gonna show you guys the actual detail, as this is it's black, not the most exciting car to see. It's not that dirty in terms of what I can show you, so I'm just gonna record once I actually finish certain parts. So I cleaned the steering wheel, a little bit around the steering wheel column. Now I cleaned up the door panel, so those are all set. Now I'm going to clean the door jambs. I normally do that to the very end, but this time, just for whatever sake, I'm going to do it next. Then I'm going to clean I'm not sure. I'm gonna change it up a little bit just because. And real quick, I actually didn't use the steamer yet. I'm still just using the upholstery brush. Where is it at? The upholstery brush right there. You can see it right there. The upholstery brush, APC, and the 2 detail body brushes and a towel. That's what I use to clean all 4 door panels. It's a super small door panel. It wasn't that bad, so I mean that was plenty enough to get it done. And the door jambs are now done. All I did was literally take a towel, some waterless wash, wipe it all down. Then I just took my fingers and ran it between this seam here to get all the dirt and gunk out of there. So I used 2 towels, 1 towel for this side, for the left side, 1 towel for the right side. Waterless wash, wiped it down. It didn't come out. I never go for perfect on, like, that's still gonna have dirt and stuff, because again, I'm going for, you know, a light wipe down, so it's not perfect by any means, but I mean, compared to how it was, we're covered in dirt. I mean, it's more than acceptable. I mean, it really, you know, makes a huge difference on the overall detail. Like here, all this stuff is like stuck on crud. Again, it's an old car, bought it at an auction, so you know, it's to be expected on some of the condition that it's in. So door jambs are now done. Okay, so I've cleaned up the center console here. All that has been cleaned up. I just finished cleaning the rear seats, the entire row of the top and bottom cushions. For some reason my steamer isn't turning on. I have the generator running right next to it. Well, not right now, I just turned it off, but it's not working, so I'm not going to be using the steamer here. I don't know what's wrong. Gotta see what's wrong with it. So that's kind of weird. It would have helped because now, like, to clean inside those areas, which you can't really tell, it's between the seat and the center console. You can push the seats forward all the way to access through the back. You can push them all the way back to access it from the front, but a steamer would help. But no biggie. I'll just continue on with the seats with just the grit garage polisher and APC, and then I just won't use a steamer this detail, which is kind of weird because I plugged it up this morning and it was working great, as you saw in the beginning of the video. I plugged it up, it warmed up, it was working, but on the generator it's not working. So if you guys have a clue why that would be, let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, so the dashboard's cleaned up. Gotta come back and clean up a little bit more of it towards the end. Once I clean everything, I'll inspect everything and get everything wiped down. Now I'm gonna clean the back of these seats, clean the front, move on to the carpets, clean all the miscellaneous areas like there, the seat belt area. Check out, I'm cleaning the seat pillars here. Check how dirty that is. Jeez Louise. Same thing over here. It's like, you can't really tell, but man, look how dirty that is. Now again, I'm not using the steamer, so I'm using just where's the brush? I'm using this brush right here, just spraying it into the brush and then literally scrubbing it little by little. Steamer would have helped out 10 times easier. I would just turn that sucker on and just steamed it away with the brush attachment on, but not using the steamer. I already cleaned that side, already cleaned the C pillar there, B pillar there, already touched with those handles. I'm gonna double check the A pillar. Still got this left, the handle, B pillar, double check the A pillar. After that, we'll just clean the entire B pillar and then touch up these areas. Same so on that area, and then I'll be done with the back side. Then I'll be done with the back side of the vehicle. It's kind of strange that the steamer's not working. I mean, it's on. I have it plugged up. I have it on, and it wasn't working. So I don't know. I have to check later because it's working this morning. Kind of odd. Okay, so I just finished cleaning the carpets, the front carpets, the front seats. I cleaned where the seatbelt thing controllers are. So now that I'm pretty much done with the interior. Like, I've cleaned the dashboard, A pillar, B pillar, C pillar, seats, carpets, headliner, all that is clean. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove everything out of the vehicle. So all the towels, brushes, anything that I have, I'll remove it. I'll put the towels where they need to be. So I want to stay organized, so I'll put them up as I go. That way I can make cleaning up later easier for myself. So I'll put the towels up. I'll rack up the steamer because it wasn't working, so I need to put it up anyways. And then I will bring out the vacuum and vacuum everything inside, and then wipe out everything. I broke my rule where you should clean the seats first, because it's gonna sling either the dirt, the solution that you're using, or the dirt. So like all the interior panels are kind of covered in dust and a little bit of sling. So now I gotta go over, which isn't, I mean, the biggest deal, because either way I wipe everything down once I'm done with it at the end. So it's not, you know, too big of a problem. But now I just have to go back and wipe everything down. No biggie. It's just, you know, I should have done the seats first, then done the dashboard. But again, this is kind of an off day for me. I'm not there all the way right now. So now I'm gonna vacuum it, wipe everything down, clean the windows glass, touch up any parts I needed, the door panels or anywhere really, and then look at the trunk, clean the trunk up, and then I'll be set to go. So not much work. I'm moving kind of slow. I am moving a bit slow because yeah, I'm just tired. It's a little off day, kind of odd. It's Sunday, so not the most efficient day for myself. So I am moving slow, not as efficient, not as quick, not as effective with what I'm doing. But that's just one of the days of, you're not trying to go 110% full throttle every single time, so I'll accept it. All right, and that is a wrap. I have finished the vehicle. I just finished wiping down the interior and cleaning up any last bit of smudges or anything that I may have missed. So that's that. So it's all done now. It definitely is a huge improvement. I didn't get too good of a before to show you guys. It's all black. So it's kind of hard to tell, especially with the lighting and such. So, but it is a significant improvement, big time than when I initially got it. So here I have my my generator running. I have the generator, the back for my vacuum hoses, the vacuum itself, the box that got to go back in his car. Other than that, it's pretty set car. The back weren't all that bad. The front seats were bad. There's a huge improvement on the two front seats. But again, it's kind of black, so I mean, unless you have an eye for it or you stared at it long enough, you're not gonna really tell that there's a huge difference because it's black again. So it the dirt kind of blends in a bit better than if it was like a tan vehicle. Let's see if I need to tell you guys anything else. No, I mean, there's anything particular. It was a small car, which is why I wasn't really too worried about the time. As I said, it's I'm kind of tired and I'm just not being as efficient as I could be. So the reason I'm not worrying about it too much is because this is a small vehicle, so I'm gonna finish it in a relatively 4 or 5 hour mark, even if I'm moving slow. That's why I wasn't too worried about it. If this was like a truck, SUV, minivan, that I'd start pressuring and moving quick because it's just a bigger vehicle, so slowing down, not being efficient, not being on it is gonna just take that much longer. So because of the small vehicle, it wasn't that bad. I took it slow. I allowed myself to go a little slow on this one. So that's why I'm also allowing that to happen, because if it was like a bigger vehicle, more hours slowing down, I'd be here longer. So I wouldn't want that. So this was acceptable because it's a small vehicle. Hey, no matter. All right, and we're all set. So now I'm gonna pack up all my things in my vehicle, get it nice and organized. I'm gonna put the box back in his vehicle. One last walk around to just touch up any single last little thing I could, and then I'm gonna text him. I'm gonna go pick him up because he's about, like, I don't know how far, not that far, but I mean, it's convenient if I go pick him up instead of him walking all the way down. Accept payment card, walk him around the vehicle, and then I'm good to go for today. All right, and last tidbit of advice. So I put everything back in the vehicle how it was. I wiped everything down, all that jazz. So like I said, I'm gonna go get the customer now. I'm gonna go pick him up. I'm gonna text him, pick him up, bring him back, accept payment. So one thing I do is, if possible, I change shirts because I sweat a lot, and then you get those salt marks, and it's just unpleasant to see. So I do try to change shirts, which I did. So this is a fresh shirt. Then I get APC and I spray it on my hands and use that, and use a towel and I use that to like wash my hands, just to get off that main gunk and grease or just nastiness that's on my hand, whatever it gets off. And then I spray water on my face, my arms, just because there's a lot of sweat and like just nastiness on there. So just to give myself a clean, just to be a bit more presentable to the customer, I do that quick little maintenance, little 30-second maintenance to just be a bit more presentable to the customer and make sure I don't have any stains or gunk on my face that's from sling or anything like that. So just last tidbit of advice. Leave any comments down below that you may have. I'm done with this vehicle. Yeah, so I'll see you on the next video.